name your business?
Yeah. Quest started in '97 in the US, and about a year later we established an office in India. Quest is a pure play engineering solutions company. We, at the very outset, when we established office in the US, customers look at three things. They outsource for three reasons. One is capacity, second is the cost, third is the capability. So three things are the main drivers for companies like us to exist. And the India play came into picture primarily from the capacity and the cost perspective. Today we're about 1,000 people working on various domains. We are into aerospace. That's a major domain that we are in. We are in energy domain. We design gas turbines for industrial applications. Oil and gas field is another domain where we are very active. Automotive and industrial products. These are some of the segments where we are currently supporting our customers.
Okay. And how many engineers?
We have 1,000 engineers, and it's a globally spread. In the last session, Paul talked about the future organizations in engineering. How are they going to look? It's about having a global workforce distributed in different regions, and Quest is today in that position where we have 100 people in the United States working on advanced technology, supporting military programs such as Joint Strike Fighter program. We have about 750 engineers based in India here, and we have 50 engineers based in Italy doing conceptual and very high-end activities.
I think you said I said that you set up operations in Pune. If I did, that was wrong. It's in Bangalore. I apologize for that. Okay, great. Umesh, tell us a little bit about Masai.
Hello.
Nope.
I think you can use this. Yeah.
Let me take this one. Okay. Yeah, okay. My introduction is dependent on you, gentlemen and ladies. How many of you are engineers? All of you who are engineers, if you can please stand up. All the engineers.
Okay.
Wow, okay. So this kind of brings me into perspective. My question is to you all engineers and the others also. What do you see in this glass? Is it the standard quandary of half full, half empty? What do you say? Is it half full or half empty?
I think somebody said vodka.
Wow, okay. Fine. See, the standard question of half full or half empty is never answered. It's answered by pessimists and optimists, the way they look at it. What Masai does is look at this glass from a different perspective. What we say is that this glass is twice the size it requires. This is what engineers do. This is what we believe engineers do. Because engineering is at the heart of Masai. We are a consulting firm based in Paris. What we do is help the European companies, mainly French companies, in optimizing their pre-procurement and supply chain components. We look at more kind of a make or buy level. Currently what we are in the process of establishing is a practice to inject offshoring, outsourcing of engineering services into make or buy policy. This is what is a major challenge in front of all the large engineering companies based in France and elsewhere in continental Europe. And when I'm saying continental Europe, I'm specifically talking about the regions where you find yourself lost because of the language. So I'm not talking about the Anglo-Saxon section of the EU or Europe. I'm talking about the countries like France, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, Italy. So this is basically has been our focus, and what we are trying to tell the companies there, the first question we face is that it's going to be 5,000 miles away from my center of gravity. I haven't let my processes go out 5 miles from my center of gravity. What should I do? How do I trust this? The answer is very simple. When you are on board on train and the train goes through tunnel and it gets dark, you don't jump off the train. You sit in the train and relax and rely on engineers. This is what we advise.
Let's do. Is that off? Oh, no, it's on. Okay. Let's do one thing, since I promised that this is a global panel. Let me turn to you, Ajit, and ask how you define global innovation and what you see as the opportunity now for global innovation.
Global technology design means it could mean few things for a few people, and obviously those of you who are interested, who are here from the point of view of outsourcing, how big is this opportunity? For you means how much of this business would come to India. So those of you who are OEMs, perhaps sitting here, you are looking at how can you use the global talent to develop products faster to the market. And it could mean various things for various people. For me, what it represents, technology is from the point of view of IP, is what I address this question. Technology for me means it's an IP, intellectual property. Technology is an asset. Innovation or a design is a process in which you develop that intellectual property. And you can look at this global technology design from two perspectives. One is at a country level. If you look at globally, where is the technology is being designed today, So if you look at the most advanced countries where a lot of the innovation happen, it's in the United States, Great Britain, Germany, France, Italy, and Japan. These are the 6 nations where the technology gets developed. How does India play into this? Does India have an opportunity to play and compete with these nations? That could be one way of looking at the global technology design. Other way is, how can India play into these companies that are located in these nations, and how can they contribute towards developing new products? So it can be two contrasting views. In my mind, India, the companies here, can they innovate products? I do think they can innovate products. Does it have all the elements that is needed to successfully develop a product today? Perhaps, in my mind, it's not there yet. India play has been predominantly a cost play, and it needs to change. However, the cost play is such a dominant factor in what we do here. I believe that the environment that is needed for innovation is still lagging behind. I can give you some examples. If you go and talk to any private equity companies about 2 different models. One is that, okay, here is a biotechnology. I have some great concept, a technology. Individual goes to a private equity and says, I'm going to develop a fantastic concept. I'm going to develop a new device which will solve a cancer problem. Versus taking a business plan which says, here is a service model. In the transportation industry, there is a great play here. Here is a service model, and it has a great future. The companies who will catch up or fund in the 2 companies is the one which is the services model which gets the most attention. If you ask the question, the types of questions the investment community asks, what is the number of headcount you have? What is the revenue per employee that you have generated? What are the bill rates? When you are innovating a product, these are not the questions you ask. The questions you ask is, what type of R&D spend you are doing? How many IPs are in line to be generated? What is the market potential for that IP? These are the kinds of questions that get asked. And today in the environment, we don't have that. We don't today have that. You look at the talent in companies. There are companies report about 20 to 30% attrition. And you look at those 6 countries which I talked about where the innovation gets done, the people are in a job, the people who are innovating products, they are in their job for their entire lifetime. They retire with the products that they are developing. When you have a 20, 30% attrition, you're talking about entire organization turning over within 3 years. Where is the knowledge retention needed to develop and make contribution to develop intellectual property?